Pranam, Namo Himalaya. Welcome to today's video. So quite a lot of you have reached out to ask me if we can do more videos on Bhagavad Gita. So here I have this sacred book, Bhagavad Gita, the Song of Gods. So here we will see if we can learn something today about action and inaction. We do actions every day. We do karma every single day. But what most people do not know is that every one of us have attachment out of our actions. And sometimes, not sometimes, most times, it gets us into a situation where we didn't plan nor expect. So let's see what Lord Krishna has to say about action and inaction. Going back a little bit, this is just to remind people what is happening in this, before the start of this book, is that Lord Krishna is explaining to Arjuna and the battlefield of Kurukshetra before the war starts between the Pandavas and Kauravas. And he is trying to explain a lot of things, including what is karma, meaning what is action. So let's go into this and see if we can learn something and apply it in today's lives, our lives today, and how we can improve ourselves. So this text is from the chapter Transcendental Knowledge, text number 18. It says, one who sees inaction in action and action in action is intelligent among men, and he is in the transcendental position, although engaged in all sorts of activities. Now let's try to understand this. Inaction in every action. Meaning you are going through your day-to-day action of your lives, but you understand the underlying silence in those actions. What does that mean, an underlying silence in your actions? When you have no desire to win, when you have no attachment to the results, whether you're winning or losing, you're not going to jump in joy, neither the failures are going to affect you and make you sad. When there is absolutely no attachment to the results of your actions, then an underlying silence starts pervading in your mindset. So you may be taking all of the actions, but you are not bound by these actions. He's saying that someone who understands this concept is transcendental. Let's take the other side of things. That is action in every inaction. Meaning you choose to not act, not take action. Even in that decision, you are taking an action, and there will be a result of that action in choosing not to act. Let's take a moment and see if we can understand this a little further. In today's life, so many of the youngsters are choosing to, let's say, binge watch on Netflix, for example, or use their time in something that is not helping them in their growth, wasting their time. When you are not using your abilities to help you grow in your life, when your decision is to just waste your time and not do anything, that itself is a decision, and that decision has consequences. Now, if we are aware that when we choose to waste our time, when we choose not to act, not to work, if we become aware that that is impacting our life, and that consequences is that, well, there could be multiple consequences, but effectively you are not using that time for your own growth. If we become aware of that, then you may choose to do things differently. So let's recap and understand what is Lord Krishna trying to say. On one hand, he is saying that in every action that you do, there is an inaction, the silence that we talked about. On the other hand, he is saying that in every inaction that you do, you are choosing to act, not to do something. Someone who understands both of this situation, these two concepts, is the one who becomes transcendental in nature. Why? Because you see, it's important to understand the concept of karma and the bindings of our actions. Every action has a reaction, scientifically proven, meaning every action has a consequence. Now, if every action has a consequence, sometimes you may expect a certain consequence, and what comes back may not be what you expected. So if you do get what you expected, you feel like, oh wow, I got the result that I wanted. But what happens to you if you do not get what you wanted? For example, you worked really hard for that promotion, that big promotion at the end of the year, and you worked so hard for it, and you know you deserve it. But when the results came out, you did not get that promotion. What happens to you? Do you feel sad? Do you feel, well, I'll try again? There could be multiple reactions. What if there is another way of taking action? Away from the material nature of it. Away from being sad or being happy. What if there was no expectation? What if there was no attachment to the results, and you just work because something needs to get done? Because there is no attachment, even if you do not get what you wanted, you will be able to move on quicker than most people. And you may be able to take decisions with a very calm mind on how to steer your life. Those who have this silence in their action, the pause in their action, are the ones who are transcendental in nature. Well, I could go on and on about action, inaction, what you should do, what you should not do, or how we should not have attachment. But to be honest, you can only understand what it feels like to not attach, is to become aware and go through these beautiful experiences. Once you start having awareness that, hey, when I'm feeling sad because of something that I did and I didn't get that result that I wanted, what is happening to me? If you are even in that moment able to catch yourself and reflect, that is one step forward. And awareness and conscious journey is a journey. And with every experiences, it will teach us something. So I hope you get something out of this teaching from action and inaction. And hopefully this helps you to evaluate what you have been doing and perhaps decide to reflect on what the Bhagavad Gita says about action and inaction. So I will see you in the next video of the series of Bhagavad Gita, and we will see what Lord Krishna has to say more about karma. Pranam. Namo Himalaya.